I'm just waiting on that Dussie.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you guys can figure out what's underneath the custom boards that you were seeing the back of. You know what those are.
Oh,
I need
do
about
we?
a minute 30.
Okay. I mean, Dusaro's not here yet.
Yeah, I'm guessing the flipped over boards are like revamped new designs.
Yes, they are your custom orders.
Okay, Dusaro's mech has 4 tons of LRM on it. I have a new first priority. Because that's just an explosion waiting to happen.
Well, he rolled the worst, so yes.
Well, no, you rolled the worst.
His techs rolled the worst.
See, that's why they should have let me do it.
That's exactly why I didn't want you to do it.
Look, the fact that I basically accidentally made an autistic savant doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
I'm good at everything except charisma.
Look, you guys need to actually feel what the standard bullshit in the universe is, because you guys are well above the standard bullshit level of bullshittery.
Yes. But we're also fighting the clans with pure inner sphere tech until I stole some mechs.
I still can't fucking believe you did that.
I can't believe that you let me knife fight an adder pilot for his mech.
In fairness,
I was ready for BigSeth character number 2 at that point. But
It was close.
I'm a good knife fighter.
It was
No,
close.
yeah. It was, but I did, in fairness, do the Paul Atreides. I will let him attack me to get the counterattack. I could have defended against that and potentially killed him without taking injury, but it was way cooler to do it that way.
Uh-huh. See the surprise in my voice? Let me go back up in our discussion here, because I'm going to dish out some negative edge.
But hey, I did blow the pilot out of the Shadow Cat fair and square.
You did. You ran up on that Shadowcat with an adder and killed him with a headshot as he killed your mech with a engine crit.
He ticked off the third engine. He blew a torso and then got a
torso
center
off,
torso.
and there was a center torso engine hit. Yep.
Yep.
And then Hohiro swept in, and that's why when Josephus bows for Hohiro, he does it like he means it.
Alright. 1 there, and 2 more.
And there was that very, very lucky Centurion pilot.
Yes! The AH model. No.
Yep.
Somebody had an AC-20. No.
Yeah, it was the Centurion with an AC-20.
No,
it was
the
like
Ultra AC-20 as ammo is what took the crit.
Yeah. So, no, what happened was it was the AC-20 hit the gargoyle, forced a piloting check, it failed the piloting check, fell into the river, and spiky rocks hit the AC-20 ammo.
Yes. Spiky rocks hit the armor, and through armor critted and blew up the AC-20 ammo. Along with a few elementals.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, that was a whole miss.
One got landed on.
And also, rest in peace to that Hunchy 2C.
I hate you.
Look, it's not my fault that I wanted to give him a little love tap to start the combat, and I love tapped him in the face. Gauss rifles do that.
I was so tempted just to throw a star of them at you.
What, just an entire star of Hunchy 2Cs?
Hanover, yeah.
Honestly,
but this is
the Shadow Cat could stay out of ever being in range of the autocannon, so I mean,
not against 4 of them, not without walking off the map.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is that the map has a limit.
Yes, this isn't like MechWarrior 4 where the maps are nice and big. But also, the only reason you saw 2C variants was because they were garrison
security.
Units. Yep, they're security units.
I mean, it still had 2 UAC 20s on it, so I mean,
Yes, with
fuck your garrison
a ton
units.
of ammo each, which is stupid.
I never said it was a smart mech, but my god, if it had hit one of us.
Unlock that.
Like, to me, that's what's terrifying about the Hunchy 2C is just like, with a little bit of luck, it can one turn kill just about anything in the game without a headshot.
I don't think Dusaro had drilled today.
No, he's literally like in a tabletop chat beneath us right now. He's in the board game / tabletop channel streaming what appears to be Tabletop Simulator. Should one of us go scream at him?
I messaged him.
We lost Eeyore. Oh, Eeyore went to go yell at him.
Eeyore's not even in here yet.
He was.
In the game. Eeyore's not in the game yet.
You are correct.
Welcome back, Eeyore.
Did you yell at Dusaro?
A bit.
What did he say?
I'm talking with someone at the moment. Something in real life.
Okay. Alright, I believe we can start going through the rundown. Anyway, and wait for Dusaro to actually get in here. So, the rundown is, from last session, you guys were given outright freedom, aside from engine swaps, by Hohoro Kurita. As you guys jumped into Wolcott space, you were given permission to use the facilities as you see fit to modify your mechs to better engage the clans. You guys were personally called by Hohoro Kurita via a black box, surprisingly, and you left Hanover via a pirate jump point because the clans were currently occupying the primary jump points. So you are making way to Wolcott, and due to the confined spaces and the fact that you're under an unusual amount of G-forces, even though these techs are pretty good, there were there's a little lack of fulfillment in terms of your request for your mechs. These were all rolled by me as mech techs. So starting off with Eeyore. They finished your catapult, however, there's a setback in that they forgot to add in one of the extra double heat sinks. They were able to switch over to the double heat sinks, but failed to put the last one in. So your mech is actually 64 tons.
Oh.
Yeah, then also the instead of it being in the legs, it's in the arm. Sorry, instead of being in the sides, it's in the legs.
What's in the legs?
You swapped around where 18 armor is supposed to be, where it's 18 armor and this. Oh.
The armor layout is a bit different from what you requested of the text as well. They did put some extra armor into the left leg and right leg aside, instead of the left torso and right torso as you had requested. So here's your new mech sheet with your custom mech. Again, at 64 tons, you will have to get that fixed at some point. So you'll have to roll to negotiate, or roll to speak with the text about it. As overall, all you guys are currently going over strategy and tactics on how to fight the clans with Hohoro Kurita via a hollow screen and a hollow table. So he's laying out his idea for Wolcott and has informed you guys that you guys are part of a new unit. He gave you promotions, and I'm still working on medals, so I will get you guys medals next week. Promotions were, I think everybody is a...
No, I am a Shujin Master Sergeant.
Yeah,
and then the other two are gun shows.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Sergeant,
Yes.
2 sergeants, master sergeant, and Shosa still.
Mhm.
If none of you make a welcome to the gun show joke in combat, I will be very offended.
Okay,
Welcome to my gun show.
Karen, yours had a bunch of problems. Being that it is such a new mech, refitting it so extensively per your request caused a lot of hiccups. So they had some issues pulling the ER large laser on the right arm, and it's taking some extra time for them to hook up that large pulse laser in place of the ER large laser. So their targeting alignment got a little wonky. So you receive 1 bad luck edge or negative edge to your right arm's large pulse laser. Your medium pulse lasers were installed to face the front, while your medium lasers were flipped around and mounted to the rear.
If I may, didn't I roll earlier to date?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me make sure I did get that correct on here. Medium laser rear, medium laser rear. Yes, okay. I don't like how unclear that is, so I might remake these sheets.
Yeah, I can try and get it in higher resolution if needs be.
Nope, I'll work on it.
So how do you import stuff like that? I'll ask you afterwards. Sorry.
So because of that, your medium pulse lasers also both get a bad luck edge or negative edge due to receiving the power feed of the power feeds meant for a medium laser and not a medium pulse laser. Your medium lasers in the back your medium lasers facing rear were unaffected by this, but the techs weren't really paying attention here, and this one slipped through the cracks.
Yep.
So until it gets fixed, you do have 3 negative edge for your large pulse laser and medium pulse lasers. And Dusaro, who's here now.
Mm-hmm.
Your Thunderbolt came out not terrible. However, the techs were kind of all gathered around and scratching their heads about how to deal with the Mauler. And then they kind of did a rush job on yours. So they were able to swap out the single heat sinks for double heat sinks, but they didn't place them exactly where you had asked for them. And one of the techs sees that you request for SRM4 with ammo, but realized that they didn't actually have any left. So the SRM2 is as is. And in order for the chassis to not be overweight, for some reason, when I redid this, the machine gun ammo is fine. However, they did still knock off half a ton of armor from your request, which they took from the right torso, left torso, right leg, and left leg. So it's like 2 points each, I believe. You're still pretty decently armored. The tech also decided that you needed more LRM ammo. Like, he flat out rolled a 2 on this, on 2d6. And decided they needed more ammo to flush out the rest of the tonnage. So you now have 4 tons of LRM-15 ammo.
Hold on the sheet as written, I only see 3.
Yeah.
And I see 1 full ton of MG ammo. I thought you said
Yeah, that might be when I reflushed it out again, because I did these last minute, I'll be honest.
So he looks like he's only carrying 3, fingers crossed.
3 tons of LRM ammo, 1 ton of SRM2 ammo case in that torso as well, and a ton of machine gun ammo.
At least I have the case.
Yeah, he gave you case. He was nice and gave you case.
And it's not 4 tons of LRM-15 ammo.
It's 3 tons of LRM-15 ammo, but that's still 24 shots.
I've heard you want to do, wage a war.
And again, I will work on getting these so they look better. PNG probably looks better than JPEG.
Yeah.
Probably.
And the Shadowcat Prime remains unchanged.
The Shadowcat Prime, so Dusaro brought up the fact that what was it exactly? What did you say earlier?
I said words that affect this.
No, Seth said about putting truck nuts
on the Thunderbolt
slot
on the Thunderbolt.
And then I was like, you know what? So I rolled, and a mech tech seemed to be quite infatuated with the Shadow Cat and wanted to go take a closer look at it on their break. And they got up on the gantry next to the cockpit to try to see what the cockpit was all about, and touched your recently touched up geisha painting that you, or geisha mural, pin-up, nose art, whatever you want to call it.
Pin art, yeah, pin-up's the right phrase.
Right, geisha pin art, and kind of smeared it decently bad. So
God damn it!
Has superficial and psychological damage.
Yeah, I got time to fix it.
Take off.
There'll be paint on planet.
Listen, you just like take your shoe off and you just throw it at him.
Speaking of time,
I can now chew him out in Master Sergeant rather than in Private.
I would not, because they are still part of the Inyosha. So,
Do I outrank him though?
Different. I don't want to say different branch. I don't want to say different branch, because you're still like all in the army, technically. But they have a different style of. Oh, hi, there's your other die.
I mean, we are a ghost section of.
I don't know what happened with those.
Yeah. Well, them being with the Genyosha unit, as well as being directly under the stewardship, I would say, of Hohoro, I probably wouldn't mess with them too much. However, you absolutely are free to. So with that being said, Seth, how do you get out of these meetings? Because you had rolled a success to be able to sneak out of the meetings to go check on the mechs to make sure nobody touched anything they weren't supposed to.
Well, and I may have misunderstood those previous rules, but the thing is, I would not try to sneak out of the meetings.
Well, sneak out being just play on words.
Okay.
Yeah. You try to find a way to excuse yourself, because Hohoro, Kurita, especially once you at all the meetings, because you have this clan salvage that nobody else has yet, and he wants you here, wants your feedback, wants your input, wants your battle experience, wants your assessment of the clan light mech and the clan medium mech that you got to play around with so far.
Okay, so I have a question here. So I still do have a flash drive copy of all of the data my active probe recovered on Turtle Bay, etc.
Yes.
And I also did, outside of the game, go to the trouble of typing up a technical report. Would submitting both of those for Hohiro's review help me get out of this?
Nope.
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 Fuck.
Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and bring this up.
Say what?
I said, let me go ahead and bring up Time of War. Yeah.
Because I'm not good at talking.
You are not good at talking. And again, Hohoro Kurita.
Look, it's not my fault I accidentally made an autistic character.
Hohoro Kurita really believes in hearing it straight from the horse's mouth. So he has very good negotiation, and he passed it by quite a bit.
Normally, this is a great thing. However,
Yes, normally it's a stupendous thing. However,
I mean, we could always send our sneaky boy out, whatever, just to negotiate with the techs.
I mean, I do have a sneak of 4. I just did him with, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Right, but Seth specifically rolled to be able to have what's his name again, Josephus, go out and check on the mechs to make sure that stuff was being done correctly.
Well, and see, and the way that I was thinking about it, especially because you did tell me to choose which one thing I wanted to fix, and I want to fix the lasers on the commander's mech.
Okay.
And so my whole deal is, from where I'm coming from, that's the kind of thing I could see on my way through the mech bay on my way to the briefing room. You see what I mean? Hey, no. These go there, those go there.
You, with your keenly trained mechanics eye, do spot the difference in the barrels of a medium laser compared to a medium pulse laser. Otherwise, it just looks like an armored barrel with a lens on it.
But yeah, I mean, I know.
So you speak to the techs and we'll have the medium pulse lasers changed around to the front with the the medium pulse lasers changed around to the rear with the medium lasers to the front.
Which should also fix the power supply issue and get rid of 2 of those negative edge, correct?
Yes, it does.
That's the best I could do, y'all.
Oh, Takan wanted the medium pulse lasers in here. Okay.
Yeah, so the
makes
reason I went with pulse lasers in the rear was originally I just had a brace of 4 medium pulse lasers pointing forwards with it and had maintained the other ER large. I thought that if I was gonna I'm already slow as balls. If something gets behind me, I've got really nothing I can do, so I might as well have accurate fire pointing backwards.
Yeah.
Well, and I do want to take a little credit because we did talk about this.
Oh yeah, no, this is
I did
entirely
point
because
out
of you.
I know, but I wasn't going to take that much credit. But I also did point out the medium lasers and the ER large pulse laser have a very similar range bracket.
Wait, what?
What? You mean ER? No.
Excuse me, large pulse laser and the medium lasers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've got Clan Tech on my mind.
So it gave me the large pulse laser and
one
the
difference, yeah.
and the standard medium lasers pointing forward. The benefit is they're in roughly the same range bracket as well. And also the idea of swapping one of the ER larges, because I never fired more than one at once anyway.
You couldn't, you'd overheat.
And this is even with the extra heat sink crammed in there. But now I can fire both LRM-15s and the ER large laser at range without building up any heat.
And then if somebody gets close, fuck them.
I mean, at least with the large pulse, whatever. I mean, at 9 hexes, regardless, you're firing that thing.
Yeah.
That's 10.
Oh yeah, and the armored cowl was installed. It does make ejection a bit more difficult, but you can survive head hits better.
Yeah,
it is my headcanon that it's a samurai helmet.
The whole notion of the armored cowl is it's kind of like a samurai helmet. Also, look where those missile pods are. You can't hit that thing from the fucking side without going through the LRM-15.
Yeah, but you kind of finagle in Laura saying...
I know.
But now he has an armored cowl. She has an armored cowl, so it's all good.
Oh, I thought you said the large pulse... Sorry, I thought you said the medium pulses were rear-facing.
They are. The sheet's wrong.
Oh, okay. Because
the medium pulse lasers should be rear facing.
Yeah, because that's probably the most excessive amount. Yeah, because I don't know any mechs that have that much excessive amount of rear facing weapons.
No,
well, I mean it's 2 medium pulse lasers backwards.
Yeah, it's just the 2. It's just going to be the 2 medium pulse lasers is what Karen requested, with the 2 medium lasers facing forward.
No, that's what I mean. Like 2 medium pulse lasers facing backwards is generally unheard of.
Yes. It's usually just like 2 medium lasers.
Well, or 1 pulse, but different story.
But above the table, though, if you think about it, Eeyore, we do have clan mechs which can be very fast, and they might try to go behind the big, slow mech.
Oh, I'm not doubting that. It's just, it's one of the more unheard of things to go about.
Okay.
It's a good mech.
I know.
It'll be interesting. Okay, so after your little jaunt to the bathroom, down to the mech bay, Seth, you returned to the briefing just as Hohoro was going to start explaining the upcoming campaign that as you guys are going to hit Wolcott, watch a fire moth runs behind the Mauler.
Well, that's exactly what needs to happen so that it can get some use out of those lasers.
Well, I mean, your guys' characters haven't noticed yet, but stuff. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, your guys' characters haven't noticed yet, but stuff. So Hohoro starts going over the plan. Again, switching over actually to a more encoded channel, so as to absolutely make sure that nobody is listening or prying in, as he believes that Comstar might be aiding these clan invaders at this point, or at least the coordinator does. The coordinator never trusted Comstar, which is why they invented the black boxes. You guys have experienced and almost threw out of your mobile HQ last session.
It was beeping. I thought it was a bomb.
It was beeping with a green light. What green light is ever bad? But anyway.
We just have a post-it note on it saying, "Please do not throw Josephus."
With love from...
Look, I feel like I should have to take the paranoia trait after that, because they've tried to steal my mech more than once. I thought that was a bomb.
I'm going to be honest. If you hadn't thrown it out, Kale definitely would have.
Get a little paranoid over here.
Okay, anyway. So at this point, Hohoro, Kurita, and Shinyadama are on the other side of the hollow table. On their dropship, so you guys have quite a few dropships actually burning towards Wolcott, with several others in front of you and what appears to be several others coming behind you, all of which Hohoro assures you are friendly and combined forces to repel these invaders. That's beside the point. So Hohoro starts explaining the plan. They want to, or they drew up a plan in order to trick the clan invaders, or to trick the invaders, the Smoke Jaguar invaders, into believing that they are attacking a planet full of trainees. You guys, your lance will be acting as a seasoned lance, hence the promotions, as well as you will be working closely with several Genyosha and Otomo, as the Otomo are directly bodyguarding Hohoro Kurita in this gambit. The reason for grouping up on Wolcott is because the coordinator believes that with their current rate of progression, this would be the going into the fourth wave, that they will hit Wolcott sometime around October, I believe. Let me double check here.
Will he also be going over about details about the clans themselves with the Otomo and Genyosha, or do we have to inform them about particulars?
So in the time that you guys have had so far, it's been a few days. Again, that's how you know that your mechs are in the state that they are currently in. The spot welds are just the techs working on the mechs in your dropship there, so don't worry about that.
They're actively on fire.
But you guys are to move to Wolcott and begin rigorous training with your Genyosha allies, Hoho, Kurita, and Shinyadama. Does anybody want to speak up about any sort of grievances currently?
I want to do something different, actually.
What would you like to do?
Kale is paranoid. We've been fucked with by not only the oh no, what are they called? The mafia, the Yakuza.
Yakuza, ISF.
We've also had the ISF fuck with us.
Okay.
So
I believe
he's gonna.
I believe last session you guys, or at least one of you did, speak up about the ISF issue.
We did,
which Hohoro said he would speak to his father about. So just as a refresher to cover that.
Yeah. No. See. No. I'm aware, but this is specifically related to the issues with the mechs, because Kale's like, clearly this is supposed to be the best mech techs round with what's going on. Surely they're not this incompetent. right? So, granted, he's wrong, but, that's just him being wrong. So he's going to try and sneak around and just see if he can hear anyone talking about anything in particular.
Okay. Hohoro is not that familiar with how well the texts work. However, Shinidama, being a little bit more versed in the underworld, as well as speaking with his contacts. Granted, he found you guys in the middle of a forest on Turtle Bay. Knows that the conditions of working strictly inside a Union dropship moving under G, under greater than 1G, as well as having to shuttle parts between the different dropships as they are traveling, is bound to cause some issues. So that he kind of explains it away that way.
In the background, Josephus just kind of mutters, "That's bullshit, and I'd have fixed him right. But I'm stuck in these damn briefings."
He heard you.
Josephus gets a slight and relatively swift, nudge to the back of the shins, shut up.
Yeah, I would cut off.
Shin Yudama.
Well, I've already offended this guy once.
Shin Yudama gives you a glance, but doesn't seem to be anything malicious behind it. And again, this is through a hollow projection.
Yeah. That's the thing is, I'm hoping that I'm outside of the frame on Zoom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the audio equipment picked you up and transmitted you to.
Right. Dusaro says nothing, or not Dusaro. Kale says nothing, but he is also not convinced.
Okay.
Paranoid background. That's just how that works. It's okay.
All right. How did they respond? All right. Okay. Kurita deeply apologizes for any misgivings that you guys have actually reported. Fully believing that what you said is true. Shinidama is kind of on the fence about it. He knows that you guys are in possession of an extremely valuable prize. However, his opinion of you has been greatly affected by how well you have actually survived this point against everything that you guys have had to face and go through.
I'm guessing he's considering us very lucky idiots because of the way we've been acting also.
Well, let's see. Yeah, he thinks you're more lucky than anything. But hey, they need a bit of luck at this point.
They're like, you know what? If luck's what gets us a win, we'll take it.
And in all honesty, the roll of the die is just all flat out luck. So.
Well, you said that they're sorry. What month are we again?
This would be going into early August.
Was there any early transmissions of possible batch hauls or challenges being made?
They have not arrived at Wolcott yet. They don't get there until October.
Well, no, that I understand. I was just curious. Maybe they've done something in advance, for all I know.
As far as I can tell, no.
Yeah. I think the answer is just no.
I'm just curious. I'm just making sure. That's all.
Yeah, let me double check here.
Yeah.
So
I've read the words.
After Hanover, they starting the fourth wave in your area, they hit Bangor and Lucerne, which would be around this time, and Wolcott is closer to the end of the fourth wave, towards October.
I'll be right back. I got a door.
Okay.
I have a door too. That's not special.
Hold up, Seth. I need you to look over here real quick.
What do I need to look at?
Behold how the dice spin.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how are you doing that?
So, pick all three of them up, and then click the one in the middle and scroll your mouse wheel.
Okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
Nice.
I didn't either. I was just messing with the dice.
Guys,
Get
we
my
can
hand
read
something
for
to do.
hours by this. We're like cats, but we're not Canopians.
Yet.
No, why did you have to say it? I thought it, but why did you have to say it?
I'm sorry.
I mean, what else am I getting paid for?
You're getting
Not to be a cat.
Sorry.
I mean, not yet.
Did anything just happen just
Yeah.
now, or no?
No,
Because
we
I
were
just had to
being
ignore.
stupid. We were being
Okay.
totally stupid.
Okay, so we're
Hey,
still
Eeyore, do you want to be a Canopian cat girl?
No.
Okay. That's all you missed.
Only on days that end in T.
Yeah, cattertat.
Well, I mean, okay, what language are we talking about?
English.
Okay. That's a relevant question there.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
not going to be able to
that's,
bastardize things that easily in any other languages, to be honest.
I don't know.
Okay,
Let's see.
They are speaking in English. I just checked that. A pass would have been Japanese.
Sorry, but what were we being stupid about that's leading to this, that we're talking about English and so on?
So if you select multiple die and then click on the middle one and hold it down as you rotate the die, they will keep the same face.
Behold.
Oh.
And
I
then
could
and,
do
and
this.
then things just went sideways, Eeyore. That happens sometimes.
I could do this for a very long time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but besides that, though, what else is going on with the meeting as well that he's informing us, or is it
So-
over?
No, so Ho-Ho is going over the whole plan. They want to engage in a heavily forested area. I know the out of character, the lore says swampy forested area, but for right now it is a forested area. It will be refined later on once they make planetfall. And training commences. You guys will begin commencing training with the Genyosha as soon as you make planetfall, with brief periods of rest and recovery. But for the most part, you guys are going to be training your asses off.
How far out are we again?
Just a few days.
Maybe we should just like introduce ourselves to the leaders on the other dropships and such, just to familiarize ourselves with in advance.
Certainly not. a bad
Well, I
idea.
don't think these are the only Genyosha dropships, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless,
Y'all,
commander and such, whatever and such.
Yeah,
y'all can do that. I
what's-
think I'll be reading my book.
So the coordinator ordered elite units from around that were placed around the Draconis Combine territory to coalesce at Wolcott, and it actually is upwards of 2 regiments, which is like 216 mechs or 216 units. This is a mixed unit. It is not just mechs.
Mhm.
Got you, Seth. So you guys see a lot of dropships around you heading towards Wolcott, and you assume that there are more on planet and more to come. But right now, you guys can familiarize yourself with other units on this dropship. Again, each union will carry a company. You guys are only a lance of that. And the dropship is not empty. It is actually quite packed.
Where the
I mean, we could just, well, since Takan take the lead and such, due to codes and protocols and such to introduce.
But yeah, that's fine. We can either, if we've got people on our dropship that we can talk to, then we'll probably talk to them. If we've not got them, we have to wait until we get to the jump ship. We'll probably talk to them then. It's good to try and know the people that you're working with.
All right. Where would you like to head first?
So we've joined up with the jump ship, correct?
Well, so you're flying in a group of, or you're traveling in a group of about 6 dropships.
Yep.
But for the most part, you can't really travel to the other dropships. They're saving shuttle travel specifically for transferring parts and equipment.
Right, okay, so we're still flying to the jump ship that's going to escort us.
No. I think we're flying from the jump ship to the planet at this
Yes,
point.
you're from jump ship to planet.
Ah, right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, in that point, then it might be like, have we got any other lances on here with us, like the other parts of the company?
Yes, there are two other lances. Again, the dropship is stuffed. There are two other lances. The aerospace bays are reserved for transport ships, transporting between the dropships that are en route to Wolcott.
Okay.
So on your dropship, on your Union dropship, where would you like to go first?
Commander, before you go start making introductions, I do have a request/suggestion. You want me to see what I can do with the rations to whip up a nice meal for us and the other lances?
If we've got the capability of doing so, it seemed to go down pretty well last time we did it. Obviously, more than happy to contribute some funds if we can get some more stuff together.
I might even be able to do something nice with the rations on board. I'll see, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Let's go with that.
I put points into cooking. I want to get use out of cooking.
Oh yeah, Dusaro, how's your how's your mead doing?
Let's find out.
And no, we're not taking as a hello gift to the Tomo.
Oh. You know what?
So your mead is getting to the point that it needs to be bottled ASAP,
Uh-huh.
or you're gonna risk losing it.
Uh-oh.
There's probably some spare fuel cans down in the mech bay.
No.
Yes.
I believe that would come with the other brewing equipment I have, so that's what I'll be doing.
Brewing equipment is strictly brewing equipment, not bottling equipment.
Okay.
So bottles you have to find and supply on your own.
All right. Well, I'll look around for some bottles.
I'm pretty sure this jerry can ain't being
there's-
used yet.
No. All right. I am looking for some bottles, and I rolled a 6.
Some tinged moonshine. Keep away from open flames.
So yeah, I'm looking for some bottles.
Roll 2d6 to avoid going blind.
I mean, I can do an investigation for you just to see if I can find some bottles for you.
I don't know if it's a full-on investigation.
Listen, man.
If it's negotiate, then
Hold on, is dumpster diving an investigation roll?
Well, no, I'm diving into someone's pantry, probably.
You know what? Roll your interest at advanced tier. So int plus will 89.
for me.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So you make it. Yeah, you find bottles and begin bottling your mead.
All right.
It needs a name.
You know, I'm just gonna steal. Well, no. That would actually be frowned upon. Never mind.
Pull up Google Translate in Swedish and figure something
Sorry,
out.
what kind of
Yeah,
alcohol is this
I'll
again?
get to that mead.
Sven mead?
Can
No.
I make a suggestion?
What?
Counting horses.
Okay.
Well, depending on how much of a kick it has, you will be.
Horse in Swedish is hast. Hostmead.
Horse mead.
If we go for plural, it's hastar. But horsemead, I like horsemead. Hasta. Hastmead.
How do you spell it? H-A-S-T-E?
Just HAST.
Oh.
Hast.
Okay.
Actually, behest, because that's how that A is pronounced.
Oh,
It's the A with the unlow.
okay.
Umlau. I always thought it was umlaut.
Umlaut. It's umlaut. But again,
Umlaut.
I think it's different.
I think that's German.
Okay, yeah, it depends on which language we're asking.
Probably.
Listen, I only have a 1 in every language that I have, so.
You speak a bunch of languages, kinda.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
And I speak 2 languages reasonably well, but
It gets you somewhere to a degree.
I imagine that Kale can speak well enough to get by in both Swedish, Japanese, and English. But if you ask him to start writing,
okay, though there's actually a deal in
don't
the
ask
time
him to
of
start
war.
writing.
So language proficiencies actually cap at I think 4, and the deal is like at rank 1, you are understandable to anyone fluent in the language, but you have a heavy accent. At 2, you're understandable to someone with just a passing fluency, but you have a heavy accent. At 3, your accent's only detectable by people better than you, and then at 4, you're just totally fucking fluent.
I don't even know how to do a Swedish accent.
No, please no.
Work on it. Watch some YouTube tutorials.
Please no.
Just be in a channel of Gonzo and repeat after him.
Sounds about right.
Can we get Gonzo to cameo for Kale when he gets stressed in battle?
Okay, but we kind of might as well get on topic.
We get sidetracked quite a bit. Seth, go find
Cooking some food.
Go find some ingredients.
This just be with my interest / cooking.
Yeah. Again, do an advanced tier to find ingredients that you can find.
All right, let me look at what that normally is. It's normally complex bases. Okay, that'll be a 9.
Yep.
7 + 2 is a 9.
Okay, you find some pretty basic ingredients on there. You feel that even having this much is due to the fact that royal family members are in close proximity. So you are able to use them. Go ahead and do another.
Yeah, see how good I do.
Yeah, see how good you do. And this will just be basic.
6 + 8. That is the minimum to succeed on a complex basic.
All right, you make a passable meal with the ingredients that you have. What are you doing with it?
Korean army base stew.
Did you say Korean army base stew?
Are you not familiar with that? That's good shit.
It is.
Yeah, no, it's a Korean thing that has stayed a tradition from when they were borrowing unused food from U.S. military bases. It's got like macaroni and spam and hot dogs and Korean seasonings and all kinds of other shit.
And then like gochujang and kimchi and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
no, it's actually really cool.
And a single slice of American cheese.
cheese.
Yep.
It's very important. You actually can't leave it out.
All right.
So yeah, Korean army base stew. I think bundajjigae is what it's called in Korean.
All right. Let me see here. Yeah, so not wanting to upset the future coordinator, the crew accepts and joins you guys for a meal.
Also, I'll say, because I have some, I'll whip out a whiskey bottle to be passed. Because I have 3 more left in my inventory.
Nice.
Okay. Their feelings towards you improve slightly. However, they do not approve of the whiskey.
Okay. Damn it.
Fine. It's not sake, so
Look, it's what I had.
Would
yeah, it's
Dusaro
fine.
like to share?
You know what? Well, let's see. Does the introvert want to show up? Sure. All right. He will share his new creation.
All right. They accept it. Not really. I mean, they could.
In the spirit in
Well,
which
but-
it's given.
Yeah, they accept it in the spirit in which it's given. They can kind of tell that it's not something of high quality.
Yeah.
Or well aged.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I just bottled it. It just finished. I don't expect it to be good. expect it to be okay.
I mean, we just explained to them like, hey, we're just we're gonna be fighting to the death against the this unstoppable force, so might as well be friendly with each other if necessary.
Yeah, and that's the thing I go back to is most of the people I've known who've been in the military, like booze is booze. If it's good booze, that's just better.
Yeah, and they don't believe that you're trying to poison them.
No, those days are behind me.
Just barely.
What?
Just barely. They don't believe that you're trying to poison them.
No, the only people I'd try to poison is the mech techs. What?
I was just thinking.
No, not our mech techs, just their mech techs.
Just thinking about that. They're actually pretty relieved that you are willingly sharing food and booze with them after the job that they've completed on your mechs.
So we made some friends.
Yeah, but we're still gonna give them the stink eye of unfuck it, please.
Well, I mean, I think if Cola let me, I'll lead our mech tech team to unfuck some of that shit.
They are. Hold on. Yeah, so once you make Planetfall, they're fully willing to hand over leadership to Seth on any future changes to your guys' mechs.
Huzzah!
Once you make Planetfall. So the only thing that they have time to change here in the dropship is the foobar of medium pulse lasers on the Mauler. Okay. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Not really sure outside the introductions, because I can barely do anything regardless.
Yeah.
Honestly, it feels like maybe the only real option is just like having this introduction. But like
here.
Let's. Actually, hold up. I want to roll something just because it'd be funny. I'm gonna roll interest homeworld and just to see if Dusaro or Kale, ends up getting along with anybody.
Right.
11.
Does he find anyone he can relate to?
Is there one person who just happens to be? Oh, hey, we're from the same planet.
Same
11,
planet,
9.
no.
Is there anyone from a similar planet who can identify?
Another Swede. Is there another Swede?
Rosselhead District, yes. Same planet, no.
All right.
However, they are from closer to Rosselhead itself than I forget where you're from.
Yeah, my family turns out wasn't actually from Rosselhog. I was told to lie. Well, yes and no.
Damien. You're from Damien, yeah. So they're from closer to Rosselhead.
Any chance I can just ask around a bit about if there's any news about what's been going on the Combine Steiner board or whatever to get a picture of what might be happening.
Absolutely.
For the site.
That would be.
Yeah, Damien would be how you say fucking gone by this point.
Hey, I mean, my homeworld was hitting the first wave, so I feel you.
Not interrogation, not investigation, because this is friendly.
I think investigation can still work if friendly.
Investigation can work in friendly, if friendly.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm thinking, go ask your buddy for info. That sort of concept.
Or just asking around in general.
Yeah, roll. I want you to roll protocol as well.
Well, I rolled a 8, so that's 11 for investigation. So here's the protocol. Well, it's an 8.
Nice.
Hey.
Okay, so they hand over the information, but are kind of asking you and grilling you why you want to know about Steiner territory.
I'm genuinely curious if this is also happening past the borders of the Combine as well.
How widespread is this issue?
They're pretty wary about you asking about Steiner territory, and don't believe that it's just out of curiosity. But they do tell you that they have reports coming in from Rosselhig border worlds with Steiner that it appears that it's not just Kurita or the Draconis Combine that is being attacked. However, any more information than that, they can't really say for certain.
Well, the accent doesn't probably help either because, you know, I only have passing.
Guten Tag, my Japanese friend.
Yeah, so these guys, being the fanaticals that they are kind of worried. Like, they're even worried around Rosselhagian people. Somewhat. They do have people from the Rosselhig district, former Rosselhig district, in their ranks in their units, and are friends with them, or at least colleagues with them. But for somebody with what is your language again?
German,
Well, what's
but also
your character's
from Donegal.
language? English, language Japanese. Yeah,
So
they're worried about your accent having that little bit of Germanish flair to it, being from Donegal.
I'm just asking, are they aware that we are formerly 14th Legion of Vega? We are kind of the total fucking misfits.
Yeah, but we are dead though, technically.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can just explain that, you know, it's like, yes, despite my accent, whatever, I grew up on a world that was taken by Kurita decades ago. Have families kept certain traditions.
Yeah, they have more than one person who is investigating everybody who is collected here in the Wolcott system. Just if anything to try and better protect the heir to the dragon.
I'm certain that me having a dark secret will have no negative consequence whatsoever.
I mean, if anything, whatever, I could just call up Tanaka and say, you know,
Yeah, is dark secret's a trait? Is it?
Yep.
Let me see. Did we ever discuss what that was?
If y'all need to go to PMs, I understand.
Yeah.
Skills, attributes, skills. Where are your traits? Oh, there it is. Traits. Dark Secret 2. And Unlucky 2. Unlucky 2 gives you that negative edge, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remembered.
Yeah, he should have 2 points of negative edge.
No, it's every 2 levels.
You know, that's right. You're right. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, good.
That's all right. Yeah, we worked that out a while ago.
Who's we?
I think we all did, 12 sessions ago.
Probably.
In session 0.
You expect me to remember that long ago?
Yes.
Oh, back and
I also started out with a rank 3 enemy, but I guess that's just been bowled up into the clans.
You'll see them again. They're on their way.
I DM'd you.
Somehow your mech blew a raspberry.
Yeah, you know what? We can go with that because you also have wealth and introvert, which would play into that as well, and
Yeah.
paranoid,
hmm
being that you are no longer associated with that, so you're kind of checking over your shoulder, see if anybody's after you. I can go with that.
hmm
Okay.
So in other news, would they give a shit that I was technically born in the Combine, but mostly grew up outside of it and then came back to it for technical college?
So they only have records back to Turtle Bay.
That's good.
Yeah, but
So-
they seen how you came at the behest of Shin Yadama to save Hohoro Kurita, and did save Hohoro Kurita, and impressed Hohoro Kurita. Hohoro. Ho ho
Oh,
ho.
Santa Claus.
Yes. So they are not really looking further back into that, especially since you guys are here at the personal request via Black Box.
Yeah.
The future coordinator. So yeah, they did their due diligence to see if you guys were trustworthy. They find you trustworthy on paper. Meeting you now is starting to raise some eyebrows.
I mean, we are a very eclectic mix, to be fair.
But we're also 14th Legion of Vega.
Yeah, but that's still former, and aren't you supposed to be dead?
Well, I mean, they know exactly why we're not dead.
Oh no, I understand that part, but everyone else.
Alright, this is
We're still Ghost of Vega anyhow.
You see, we
Victor
were
and
simply
re-recording.
too angry to die.
Yeah, we're the weirdos who made it.
You really are the weirdos who made it. But as judging by the character of these NPCs, you're probably gonna have to start, or it's probably gonna start catching up with you. But we can say that for once you guys land on Wolcott. So you've won over, or at least are not entirely suspicious to this dropship's crew. To the members of the Genyosha on this dropship, you have Hohoro and Shinyadama speaking for you, which puts a lot of clout in your corner.
Well, here's one thing though, if we really want to get them to trust us, can we bring them to our hangar to go over things in advance? And then I know it might be risky to show them off the shadow cap, but just as a show of faith of, hey, we are showing this thing that we acquired, it's irreplaceable, but we want to explain things properly to you.
And yeah, I'm down with that idea.
Okay.
That's like a good plan, yeah.
That and also go over the elementals in particular because those things are going to be nasty as all hell.
Yeah. I think okay. To expand on that idea is one of those like mech warrior to mech warrior off the main line with Hohiro. Let's or Hohiro come down here and like let's talk about what we're dealing with because we've seen it, we've fought it, we've survived it.
And
Maybe-
this is
yeah,
one
show
of
a
the
few
reasons
rom-
why Hohoro wanted you all in these meetings, because you guys
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
survived it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the ones seen from Band of Brothers where they're going over the plans in advance before the actual like main meeting and such. Because as like hey, we're gonna drill this in before that, so we're more familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even show off the Shadow Cat in all its glory.
Well, that and also some ROM footage if you have
What are you
any.
gonna do? Space it?
I mean, I can't really do much with it, but I can let them take a look at it. Tell them what it does. It's
Yeah, but
got
we should-
this, it's got that.
Yeah, but we do have recordings and such from all of us to show off that hey, they are like reaching out further than normal and cooler than normal.
Seth,
And they're faster than normal.
do a computer's roll, please.
Computers roll. Let me check what my number is on that. Gonna be +2.
Advanced. So you're gonna need a 9. So that's
I'll use an edge point.
dexterity and intelligence.
Yeah, no, I've got a +2, so that's a bust. I'll use an edge point.
Okay.
Because yeah, I do want to show him what's up. That's a snake eyes. Can I
Dear
use
God.
another edge point?
Oh.
Can I roll for him?
So, you're in sending a copy over to
I'm
Hohoro
gonna grab it
Kurita,
here.
you accidentally
Wait, I said I did that a long time ago.
in sending over a copy to Hohoro Kurita without you realizing it, you accidentally deleted the original.
Okay.
And your battle ROM is empty. In the Shadow Cat. Hohoro has the copy, and they're scrutinizing over it, but the original with your Shadow Cat is not there. So the other computer technicians around you, or the other mech techs around you, realize that this being foreign technology that none of you have ever seen before, feels that it's either a failsafe or it was just somebody pressed the wrong key and that shit happens.
I mean, in general, though, we could
Perhaps
just
it is
show-
a failsafe.
Well,
Josephus
outside-
says
well, outside of this-
authoritatively.
Well, outside of just the thing with the Shadow Cat, we all have footage or something like that, whatever that we can show off of the things we've
You
engaged.
have you have gun footage. Yes, the Shadow Cat has the full battle footage. That's what a active probe does on
Oh, the active
the
probe
clan
part.
active
Yeah,
probe.
Yeah.
my
So,
bad.
yeah. So some of the
I didn't hear
some of the techs are looking around like what's going on here? Where's the data? But one of the more savvy computer techs speaks up and says, and stands up for you.
Good. We can still very much explain to them, and I mean, that's the thing. I can pop the leg plates open on the Shadow Cat to be like, see this Indo Steel? It runs lighter than any of our mechs, and this Indo Steel takes up less space, etc.
I mean, in general, though,
I do have
even
the
with-
physical evidence.
I mean, even in general, though, the gun footage we have will depict things that are shocking, regardless of them.
The mech techs that see the Endo Steel want samples.
How much?
The samples.
Yeah.
Enough,
Josephus's reply is,
I mean,
look,
that's
bring in, I'm just kind of ad-libbing here, X-ray scanners, etc. Take your best look at it you can. But we need this running for the next
battle. They don't have that kind of stuff on the dropship. They want samples so that they can analyze it when they get planet side, but so that they have samples. They just also kind of want it for its cool factor.
I mean,
okay, so
honest,
here's where I'm going to ask a straight up question because I actually know some engineers. Is there a spot or two where I could shave a little bit of the Indo Steel off? And when I say that, I'm talking like a matter of grams, not a matter of kilograms, not a matter of tons. But just a gram or two here or there for them to have the metal to analyze and study.
Roll your technical prowess there.
Would that be mechanical, I guess?
That would absolutely be mechanical.
I think. All right, this has a +5. That is a 6 + 5 for an 11.
Okay, yeah, you shave it off, or you have it.
Yeah, I find a place or two where I can just. Well, so okay, I do have in my inventory a laser cutter.
Okay, so you use your laser cutter and you expertly shave off, without destroying or damaging or modifying the samples too much, and without degrading the structure of the Shadow Cat somehow. Again, space magic.
Well, I found just the right spot where it's got a little more than it needs.
You are able to make 4 samples, which the techs they bow to you and greatly thank you for willing to do this. Other techs are taking a look at the ferrofibers armor and realizing that it is thinner. It's not as bulky. They're okay not receiving samples because they know that armor, you need every ounce of armor.
Yeah, that's one of those. The air that Josephus is trying to convey to his fellow techs is that he would gladly give them more, except that it may be life or death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those like, I'll give you everything I can, but we need to win this fight.
Well, just promise them, hey, once we take care of everything where we're going, you're going to be getting plenty of samples to work with.
Well, yeah, there's that angle too. I didn't want to be too arrogant by promising to get a headshot or two.
I mean, even if it's a wrecked mech, you know.
Let's see here. That's time.
But as far as our relation with the... Oh shit, what happened?
Don't worry about it.
As far as our relation with the other units that are here that we're, explaining things and showing off footage for, like, I mean, are they, like, interested? Are they unimpressed? Are they concerned?
Hold on. You guys have 3 spare tons of clan fibers armor left over from Turtle Bay.
Oh.
Okay.
You know.
I can work with that.
What was it? We, like, sold a bit to the Yakuza, I think. That's what we did, or?
No. I think we sold a little bit of our regular FF.
Okay.
Yeah, that's valuable as well. They wanted all of your supplies of, they wanted all of it originally, if I remember correctly. But yeah, you guys held on to your clan feral fibers. So you have after repairs and everything, you have 3 tons left.
Got it.
I'm sorry,
we need to kill something soon.
Eeyore, go ahead.
Go ahead, what?
What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, like, okay, since we gathered both Diotomo and Genyosha people here, whatever, just to explain things and show off things in advance and such, and also talk about the Shadow Cat.
Oh, like how about what now?
Like how did they take it?
How do they take it? Is there any questions they have?
Overall, they're still kind of mid in regards to your trustworthiness and your capabilities as fighters. The 2 roles were for the Genyusha and the Otomo. The Otomo likes you a little less than the Genyusha, but hey, they are the fanatical defenders of the Kurita family.
Us as a whole, or me in particular?
As a whole,
because Tanaka can probably maybe
a decent bit about it is because you were there, and it's Genyosha, not Genyusha. Just making sure, because somebody's gonna yell at us.
I just remember always pronounced Genyosha, but yeah.
So
Or Genyosha.
what was the question?
Nothing.
Oh.
So they're feeling kind of maybe about us.
I have a question.
So,
why are there ninjas in the wall?
Why are there ninjas in the wall?
You heard me.
Oh. Let me see here.
As long as there's no Nekokamis on here waiting to pounce on us.
Yeah, you.
Now, hold on. I did want to point out.
You full out believe that you see little glints coming from the vents.
Glints in the vents. That is an amazing rhyme. I know it wasn't on purpose, but that is amazing.
But that does actually make me think. One other specific thing that Josephus wants to do with his mech. So in addition to the standard mech security systems, the club on the steering wheel, the burn your brain out neuro helmet, all that good stuff. What I just want to put is a code lock on the exterior to open the hatch to the cockpit.
Like a number
Where
pad?
if you don't enter the correct code on the first try, it just makes the horn start blaring at maximum volume. So there's just an air horn if you don't know the code. Because even if Josephus fucks that up, that's not a big deal. He can deal with that. But if somebody's trying to break into his mech, that's going to echo.
Outside of that, though, okay, is it possible to get Tanaka to, explain to him a bit more proper, or is it just because we're just, that many weirdos in a group, whatever, that it's putting them off and not taking us seriously?
She can explain all she wants, but it's all based on all of your individual stories.
Eccentricities.
Contributions.
Yeah.
But no, on the Shadowcat though, I just want to put an if you don't enter the correct code, nonstop air horn.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. At least one more thing: whoopee cushion on the seat.
As far as Kale is concerned, he doesn't care what they think about him. He just doesn't want to have to deal with them.
Well, that's some unfortunate news. Because you're gonna have to deal with them.
Yes, he will. He won't like it, but he will. Dealing with all of you is already stressful enough on his introverted self.
Fair. Oh, do you want me to roll to put the air horn keypad on the Shadowcat?
No, that's a pretty basic installation. What's your power source?
For the keypad?
The keypad and the switches and mechanisms you need to power the air horn, which thankfully on most mechs are loudspeakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I say air horn, I mean whatever the sound source is. But like, I'm assuming this thing has the equivalent of the automotive 12-volt battery in it just to turn on in the first fucking place. Like, it seems kind of reasonable that there's got to be some kind of power source to help, the fusion reactor, like, turn over.
So, fusion reactors are kept in an idle state, which means that it's, like, very, very minimal power output, just enough to keep it from shutting down completely. When they do turn it off to do maintenance on the engine, replace the engine, repair the engine, whatever they need to do to the engine, they then plug in an external source.
Okay. So here's where my logic's going to go is if it's in a minimal power state, I'm assuming it could still power a loudspeaker going bwomp if it can still turn itself back on. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I believe so.
And if the reactor is completely off and it's plugged into an external power source, I'm not real concerned about someone walking off with it.
Okay.
Yeah, because a cold start takes a minute. If you completely shut a reactor down, it takes I forget how long, but I'm pretty sure it takes a turn or two for it to be able to actually do anything at all if it shuts down that hard.
Yeah, so that's the thing is, like, if we've got it cracked open for engine repairs, hell, I'm probably the one doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as it's just sitting in standby state, I think that standby power will be enough for the womp if anybody tries to open it.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Reasonable?
Yeah, I just wanted to see where you were gonna take with that as RPing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm basically just hooking it to the 12 volt, metaphorically.
Yeah, you can do that. I won't make you roll for it. I know. I'll make you roll for it. Roll for it. If you fail, no edging it. You're just gonna get a bad shock.
It also gets linked to a shotgun shell full of rat shot.
No.
Underneath the seat.
I rolled a 5 on the dice plus 5 for electrical, which is a total of 10, which I believe is a success.
By 1, yes. Yeah, you install it. No issues. Where'd you find the keypad?
I mean, hey, Dusaro, you want to help me out?
No,
Sure.
just where'd you find the keypad?
He probably.
I would have scrounged it out of somewhere. I mean,
Did you take it out of the mobile HQ? Was it Com Guy's personal keypad?
Yes.
I would probably have taken his personal data pad and ripped the keypad off of it.
Kay Shadya, that's right. Kay Shadya.
Is this going to be Office Space, but in space? Just find our we find our dropship burnt down, and he's collecting insurance.
God, I hope not. Don't give me any more ideas. It's like you come back one day, your mech. I know it's not Office Space, but You come back one day and your mech is encased in jello.
Or whatever the fuck that stuff that the Soviets used to box everything with.
Oh God.
Cosmoline?
Doesn't that kind of like harden after a while, or does it just stay forever?
I don't know.
Yeah, it hardens.
Okay.
Not super bad, but
What are we doing? I think that's pretty good for this session. A little over an hour.
You didn't try to kill any of us yet.
Not yet. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Dusaro, what are you doing about
Yep.
Glint? Do you see? You think you've seen the vent?
all right. He's gonna take a look.
All right.
Gonna go for that perception. Or well,
We're all collectively looking at what the fuck are you doing?
13.
Yeah, pretty much. You're looking. What the fuck?
And he's gonna do it stealthy too. 9 plus 4. 13. 13 on stealth, 12 on the perception.
All right. Ooh, that was close. So you, while everybody is checking out the shavings of endosteel and the ferro panel that has been skillfully removed by Josephus, you sneak off to try and chase down this glint in the vent. Do you have a weapon pulled?
Pulled?
You have a
No.
weapon in your hands. No?
No, he would have his weapon on him, but pulled?
I'm pretty sure all of us have had weapons on us
Yeah.
constantly the entire time.
Yeah,
but
he has
Yeah, I
his,
mean, I've got a carbon on me.
yeah.
But you're
Like-
not handling a knife or your pistol. Okay.
No, pistol's on his hip.
Okay. You don't see anything, but you were hit by a gust of stale air, as is known to be endemic of a Union class dropship.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be paranoid about the stale air?
No.
Okay. You've satisfied your paranoidness.
Actually, have I?
So Josephus is going to pop a few
Yes.
rounds off now.
No, he just
No.
he tosses a flashbang into the vent.
Breach and clear.
What?
Josephus, not knowing what else to do, would just instinctively dive into the vent with his pistol.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm looking at your sheet here. You have a trophy fish.
You just take a bunch
We
of ball
cooked that,
No,
didn't
here's
we?
the thing. No, you throw.
No,
some ball-
I caught other small.
Yeah,
or-
so
threw-
you caught 4 small fish and 1 trophy fish, and he had the trophy fish mounted from the guys in Hanover.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever
Yeah.
collect it?
Yeah, he collected it.
Well, here's the thing, though. You take some ball bearings and stuff, you throw it down the vent, and hear if there's any other scuttering outside of the rolling noise. I mean, they'll think it's probably a grenade for all we know if they're spying on us.
I don't know. Throwing ball bearings into a vent
No.
on a space vessel sounds like a very bad idea.
I know, but it is dumb
Let's
enough
say
for us
he
to do.
He throws a jar of honey into the vent or something.
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances.
It might,
We're all gonna die.
hold on. Let's see.
Listen,
Let me
he's
see.
paranoid enough to probably do it.
If you would throw the jar of honey in your paranoid state into the vent, the smell of honey would go through the ventilation system for the whole dropship, and the crew would be like, man, that feels nostalgic. Like, I feel nostalgic for home. It's like I remember the bees and the flowers and all this kind of thing. It would definitely set the crew a bit more at ease, even if
Like a week later, it starts stinking up the place.
oh no, if you throw the honey into the vent, it would the smell would permeate through the whole dropship. And somebody did actually see you do this, so they know it was you, but they figured that you did it because you were tired of the smell of the stale air.
Honey scented air. This is incredibly cursed.
It's like, damn, we've seen weirder shit for, air fresheners, but hey, man.
Do the medics have anything fancy they can put in that honey, if you know what I mean? No, I'm kidding.
There is no weed honey.
Don't desecrate the honey.
Do not make weed honey. I will shoot you myself.
I'll say
Personally,
that might be kind of fire.
Yeah, but personally, I would also hate the smell of that.
But on the downside of that, the crew would, or at least the dropship crew itself, the 8 guys or 5 or 8 guys or whatever it is for a dropship crew, would be upset with you because they would have to eventually clean it up before it went rotten.
Listen, we just all point our fingers at him, say he did it, whatever, and hand him a bucket.
Also, yeah, that's a crew of 14, so fuck them.
Whole way up to 14, jeez.
I was not expecting to try have people convince me to throw a jar of honey into the
Oh yeah.
AC, basically.
If you just want what you expect, why do you play RPGs?
Listen, I'm not complaining. It's just very funny. All right, you know what?
Throw the honey.
It's left to a roll. The honey is thrown. There you go.
Well, I was gonna say do it based on your interest, for an advanced tier interest, because that honey is for your mead.
Yeah, so that would be 8 total.
Okay, you don't throw the honey.
Okay. No, I need more.
But that.
Well, technically,
Well,
you need
Josephus does need to take a leak. No.
If you're,
Okay.
But no, I was just
so none of that happened. Nobody's opinion of you guys has been raised or lowered. But it would still be fun. Something fucking funny. Okay. By this point in your excursions, you are approaching Wolcott, and the dropships have rotated and begun their planetary burn.
Flip and burn.
Yep, flip and burn.
Let's go.
So you guys are confined to quarters until you land.
Can I
And
just sleep in my mech?
I mean, your mech's secured. Yeah, sure, why not?
I just want to make sure it stays secured.
But you're gonna be staying in your mech for I think 2 days.
He's got the fan on.
Yeah.
Or no, you're confined to
The
quarters.
12-volt battery works.
I would like to remind you that
you're confined to quarters during the maneuver. However, once they begin the planetary burn, it's actually pretty much just 1G.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I'd like to remind you that clan mechs don't have toilets.
I mean, says you.
I'm not letting you install a toilet in place of the command couch.
I didn't say that. I just said anything's a toilet if you're brave enough.
I mean, aren't most mechs made to be partially lived in, so they at least have something akin to that where it flushes out somewhere?
Yes, Innisphere mechs are, correct. Not planners.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Innisphere mechs have
my bad. Yeah.
Well, okay, let me point out something that is a vitally important detail. In an emergency, literally any corner is a shitter.
It's very true.
However, all those corners are very close together.
In a battle mech, yeah. Especially clan battle mech.
Okay, here's the thing.
Why do you think they're so angry all the time?
I would rather be empty of shit with it on my face and alive than any other combination of those that doesn't involve me being alive.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Priorities.
All right, we are slowly turning insane.
Yeah.
Look, we're supposed to be mech warriors. How do you not be insane as a mech warrior?
Very valid.
I don't know, Victor.
I don't know, having a loving family to possibly go back to. I don't know.
They're just there to die. Come on, let's be real.
All right, Flip. Let's
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of singing, Goat's song.
Whee!